What's happening? It's your boy Harvey the Credit Houdini. Look, I want to talk to you all about Tradelines. There's a lot of information out here revolving around Tradelines. Of course, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen a million videos talking about Tradelines and they do this and they do that and all that, or whatever. Okay, I'm going to give you all my own personal video talking about Tradelines. And the reason why I want to do that is because, number one, I'm the Credit Houdini. And I deal with a lot of people. I get people all the time who call me and they say, hey man, I want to get a trade line, bro. What's your limits? What do you got? When do they report? They want to know all this stuff. Look, let me tell you all, first and foremost, what you got to stay away from. And it's all based on the type of credit profile that you have. Not everybody's credit profile is the same. Some people need big limit trade lines. Some people could really just use small limit trade lines, but in everybody's mind, bigger is better. That's your lady. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want any hate messages on my video. I'm just playing. But look, all right, back to the task at hand. Bigger isn't always better when it comes down to trade lines, all right? Now, if you're somebody, you got good credit, your credit's great, now all of a sudden, I think I want big limit credit cards. You can go out, you're a great candidate to be able to get big limit trade lines. Why? Because if you get the big limit trade lines, more than likely, you're going to start getting approved for big limit credit cards. And that's if you don't have anything negative on your credit hindering you, whether it's, charge-offs, collections, a lot of inquiries, however you want to say it, in a small span of time. With that being said, you could be a possible candidate. Now, if you're somebody out there, you don't have anything on your credit, or you've gotten the majority of accounts off of your credit, and you're now at a point where you're trying to establish this awesome credit history, this newfound credit report that just looks great to everybody who peeks at your credit. If that's you, you probably just need to focus on getting the smaller accounts, smaller trade lines at first with a good line of credit history behind them, okay? And what I mean by that is you don't have to go out spending all this money on $10, $15, $20,000 lines of credit when your credit's fairly new, because if somebody looks at your credit, they're going to say to themselves, all right, this person's credit is pretty new. We see the $10,000 line of credit on there, but nah. This looks like, number one, it's a trade line. It's an AU trade line, an authorized user trade line, meaning it's borrowed credit, okay? Borrowed, meaning that you got signed on grandmother's trade line, grandmother's credit card as an authorized user. They threw this history on there, and people know that. Why? Because it shows it on the credit profile. It shows, a lot of times it's going to say joint user, joint account, authorized user. It's going to say that on the credit profile when you go and actually take a peek at it and see. The focus should be getting the smaller line of credit, whether it's a, authorized user account. You can get that cheaper authorized user trade line. And when you get that, make sure, again, you want to get the one that's got some good history behind it. Again, stop focusing on all this big money trade line and big limits and all that stuff. That's great if you got good credit already. But if your credit's not good, you need to focus on the history. You got to focus on building your credit. Everybody wants to come out of the gate running 100 miles per hour. Okay, it doesn't work like that all the time if your credit is not established. So to get yourself to that point that you can run 100 miles per hour, you got to start with the warm-ups. You got to start with the jogging. This is the jogging. This is the warm-up, okay? Get the smaller lines of credit, the AUs, authorized users. I don't care if it's a $500 credit card that somebody's adding you to. I'll tell anybody all day. I will rather be added to a credit card that has a $500 limit that is 10 to 15, 20 years old versus somebody who has a trade line that's 2 years old and has a $15,000 limit on it. I'd take that $500 card with all that time all day, just because I know that when I go out there, I have a higher chance of getting approved with that longer span of credit history. Now, when you do that, you need to still focus on building your own credit. A lot of people make the mistake, they get out, they get the trade line, and then they just go and start shopping. No, it's a process, okay? A process. Life is filled with processes. You have to follow the process. If you don't follow the process and you try to skip steps, it never works out, okay? So follow the steps. You get the AU, get the small trade line. You need to start going out and getting you some type of credit builders. You can use a self-lender, Credit Strong, Money Lion, Kickoff, all these different things that don't actually require a credit check. And if you get those, you don't have to worry about picking up an inquiry, however you want to say it, on your credit profile, all right? So do that. As long as you do that, you're going to have a good outcome. You're going to have a stronger looking credit profile when people pull your credit later on versus the one guy who goes out, they got the $10,000 credit line on there with nothing else on there. So the key is, if you want to buy an AU, if you want to kind of beat the system and kind of, come out the gate running a little bit, that's cool. Get the trade line, credit builders, start going out and applying for small lines of credit. I tell people all the time, go to your credit unions, go to your banks, the people that already have your money. They already see your money. You already have some type of relationship built up with them. Go to those people once you've got your credit profile looking a little better and start trying to develop a relationship with them. And as long as you do that, people are going to give you something, and eventually you're going to be running 100 miles per hour coming out of the gate. All right. With that being said, make sure that you share this video with somebody that could possibly get some use out of it. Because like I try to tell people, I try to be real and try to be straight up and give it to people the way it really is and how it really works. Okay, I do my best not to get on here and just give you all a textbook answer. I try to give it to you in reality, a real life circumstance. I've been there. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've been there at some point. Hopefully your credit's gotten better and you don't have to take these steps now. Now you're a guru and you know exactly what you're doing. All right. Outside of that, if you have any questions, hit me up. Instagram, Harvey the Credit Houdini Logan. Facebook, you can look me up by the same thing, HarveyTheCreditHoudini.com. Type my name in Google, I will pop up, I promise you. So if you need me, you have any questions, hit me up. You guys be blessed and you have a great day. Peace.